So the news out of Boulder, Colorado yesterday was at least 10 people have been killed, reportedly from a single gunman using a rifle of some sort. Now, some of the reports have been mixed as far as motive, identity of the shooter, even the type of gun. But don't get this twisted. Even today, just 24 hours later, this is already being used as a narrative to begin talking about gun control and more strict gun control. This is not just an overreaction. This is a complete straw man attack on legal gun owners. These so-called assault weapons are going to be blamed and are being blamed when we don't even know for certain that that was the type of weapon used. Not to mention the fact that assault rifles are not really a thing, okay? Um, People who don't know much about guns take the ones that look scary and just call them assault weapons. Uh, an AR-15, the one that most people refer to as an assault weapon, is actually far less powerful than a weapon of war, which is what they most often um, compare it to, like an M16. Is far, far less dangerous than an M16. A true weapon of war would have burst fire or full auto, which any weapon that you can buy at a Dick's Sporting Goods is not going to have. It's not legal to purchase any longer. So let's debunk some of the more idiotic statistics. I'll try to keep it clean. So according to the FBI in 2019, 297 people died from rifle shots, rifle gunshots. That would include hunting rifles, AR-15s, and any type of long gun, essentially. That does not include handguns. Now, compare that to a knife. Over 1,500 people were killed with knives in the United States in 2019. That means that you are 5 times more likely to be stabbed to death than killed with a rifle of any kind, not the so-called assault rifles that they are so quick to target. So with 1,500 people dying of knife wounds in 2019, was there a call to ban butcher knives? How about steak knives? Were they on the chopping block? Pun intended. No, because people realized that it's a people problem, not a weapon problem. And the knives didn't fit the narrative. Gun control laws now are stronger than they've ever been at any point in American history. So why is it, with these incredibly strict gun laws across the country, why are the only years where there have been double-digit mass shootings, according to the FBI now, were the years 2017 to 2019? Maybe it's because gun laws don't stop criminals. Before we go further, why don't we define a criminal? Well, a criminal, in my book, is a person who breaks the law. I feel like that's a safe definition. So, if a criminal is someone who breaks the law, more laws are not going to make criminals stop being criminals. What it will do is create more criminals. Good people don't need laws to tell you to not go into a grocery store and open fire. And criminals won't heed a law that says, don't go into a grocery store and open fire. These laws and these regulations are a waste of time and a waste of taxpayer money. So let's go into the store for a minute. You've got a gunman shooting people, seemingly at random from the reports that I've read. What if there had been just one customer, just one, in that store who had been armed? How many more people would have lived? You don't stop bad people from getting guns with gun laws. Gun laws only take guns out of the hands of good, law-abiding people. These gun buybacks, these gun programs, the red flag laws, the additional background checks, all it does is make it harder for people who are trying to do it the right and legal way. That doesn't stop someone from going to a back alley somewhere and buying it from somebody. Okay, it doesn't stop these crooked pawnbrokers from brokering deals with people and then suddenly, oh no, it was lost. We were robbed and the gun was gone. Those things don't change. And gun laws will never change those types of transactions. The best way to stop a bad guy with a gun is to have a good guy with a gun. That's called a deterrent. Now, I said deterrent, not detergent. So let's not go reaching for Tide Pods here. Let's talk about some other types of laws and things that we do to stop them. To stop or curtail a shoplifter, for instance, stores don't just put up signs that say, please don't steal. We would really greatly appreciate it. Right? This isn't a Kevin Smith movie where it's got a sign up that says, if you're planning to steal, please let us know. That's not how it works in the real life. No, what stores do is they put up cameras so that when people do steal, they have evidence to prosecute them. And they hope that that deters people from wanting to steal because there is a punishment. To stop or curtail a speeder, police don't just put up the speed limit signs and say, hey, there's the law, make sure you follow it. You little devils, make sure you're following those laws. No. They sit out by the highway, they point their radar guns, and they track you. Or they put up traffic cameras so that they can stop you in the act of speeding. They recognize that putting up a sign saying it's the law is not going to stop you from actually speeding. You need a deterrent. So what they do is they stop you and they ticket you. And when they ticket you, they don't take your car away. Even if you've had multiple infractions, they might take your license away. But they don't take the car. So how does taking a gun away stop violence? Guess what? It doesn't. Now, I don't want to diminish the lives of the people who were murdered in cold blood in Boulder. That was not okay. All right, let's be very clear, very plain about that. It was not okay. Taking the lives of an innocent person is never okay. And any decent law-abiding gun owner will tell you that the guy that did this needs to be punished to the fullest and greatest extent possible under the law. 100% he should be punished for what he's done. The shooter was wrong. No matter what excuse comes out, it is not acceptable to harm innocent people. But let's be clear. What we have in the United States, despite what the government wants to tell you, we don't have a gun problem. We have a people problem. Let's deal with the real problem. Let's deal with mental illness. Let's deal with the fact that people have been cooped up for a year and they've been wrestling their own demons, and without social interaction, without healthy outlets, people have begun to snap. Again, that's not an excuse for what he's done. It's not. It is never an acceptable practice. But that gun didn't do it. The gun was a tool. Without the gun, what would have stopped him from using a household hammer? Right? Or 1,500 people were killed with knives in 2019, according to the FBI. What would have stopped him from just walking in and start slitting people's throats? That doesn't change it, right? There's just a story in Pennsylvania that a man walked up to a 12-year-old kid in a McDonald's line and tried to slice his throat with a box cutter. We're going to outlaw box cutters now too? No. See, gun laws don't work. That's why, if you look statistically, the places with the most stringent gun laws in the country, places like Chicago, tend to have the most shootings. I read this morning that nearly 500 people already this year, and we're only in mid-March, but almost 500 people have been shot in the city of Chicago. You're not allowed to carry a gun in Chicago. Oh, but right, they go to Indiana and they buy the guns. But there are laws that say you can't carry them in the city of Chicago. It's almost like a criminal will go around a law to do what they want to do anyway. Who would have thought? If we allow the government to take an inch in this gun debate, they will take it all. It isn't about saving lives. If it were about saving lives, we'd be looking at handguns, which account for something like 19 times as many gun crimes as rifles. But we don't talk about handguns. We talk about the big, scary ones, right? This isn't about saving lives. It's about power. And it's about control. The Second Amendment says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. That means that you can't take that right away from legal citizens of the United States. Remember that. And now watch your government at work, ready to shred the Constitution into a million pieces and take your rights away one at a time while you say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" Don't forget, right now, America is burning. Don't fan the flames.